business is to get into Draymond Green. Because yesterday, the NBA suspended Draymond Green 5 games for grabbing Minnesota's Rudy Gobert's neck, basically, putting him in a chokehold, calling it an unsportsmanlike and dangerous manner, the league said. Wednesday night, Green dragged Gobert for a good 7 seconds. We all saw the video. We all saw what happened. We know that there have been past transgressions on the part of Draymond Green. We get that. Okay? Everybody's going to talk about how he kicked Steven Adams in the groin years ago. They're going to talk about how he kicked up at LeBron James, negating the fact that LeBron James, during Game 4 of an NBA Final Series years ago, on the brink of being down 3-1, threw Draymond Green on the floor and then stood over him. And that's when Draymond Green pushed him off of him and kicked his feet up as well. We're going to forget all of that, right? We're even going to bring up the fact that he knocked out Jordan Poole, or essentially it looked like a knockout, with a video that was leaked that transpired in practice, for crying out loud. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Fights in the NBA in practice happen all the time with teammates. And the fact that that happened, that didn't happen in front of an audience. It didn't happen with an abundance of people around that were spectators and folks who patronized the sport of the National Basketball Association. And more importantly, it was a private matter that was leaked. Now, that's not to absolve Draymond Green from such an egregious act, and he knows that, and he spoke about that more than anybody, so we get all of that. But then, of course, we're going to bring up that, and we're going to bring up how he stepped on the chest of Sabonis for the Sacramento Kings last year during the playoffs. There have been an abundance of transgressions on the part of Draymond Green. He is not innocent. And that's why when he got a 5-game suspension, a lot of people didn't have a problem with it because they're saying, hey, this is not an innocent dude. We get all of that. My problem is how people are trying to label one incident, or they're trying to say this is who he is, this is what he is. It was excessive, no doubt. It was a dangerous move, there's no doubt. Some people would even have a problem with the fact that Joe Dumars, of all people, who's the executive VP of NBA basketball operations, but in the same breath, a former member of the Bad Boy Pistons, who did a whole bunch of stuff when they were playing. And they're looking at Joe Dumars and they're like, you of all people? I mean, the Bad Boy Pistons invented some of this stuff. Who the hell are you? How did you get that job? But even when the Pistons were who they were, the bad boys, Joe Dumars was considered one of the ultimate good guys and class personified. So we can't use that against them. He'll say, however, I still think 5 games is a bit excessive. Yes, Draymond shouldn't have grabbed Rudy Gobert around the neck like that. And yes, under no circumstances should he have held him for damn near a full 7 seconds. It was a dangerous maneuver. There was no doubt about that. But he didn't throw a punch or anything like that. And where was Cap to get Draymond Green off of him? He was trying to pull him off of Klay Thompson. I just think that when you look at it from that perspective and you want to sit up there and say, this is the problem with Draymond Green, that's an aberration. The NBA, although it appears to be soft as cottonelle tissue half the time, because you got the NBA with their rules being implemented at every turn, it gets to a point where you feel like you'll get a technical if you're past gas, for crying out loud. You understand that. I just want to be careful about excoriating Draymond Green to the point where he's considered such a pariah that officials and everybody else have an excuse not to call the games fairly. You want to eject him, fine. You want to suspend him when a transgression transpires, fine. He's got to live with that because he's got to reel in his emotions to some degree. I'm not denying that. But what I don't want to see is all of a sudden Golden State is going up against the opposition and every little ticky-tack call is against Draymond Green is accentuated to such a degree that we're walking around treating him like a damn criminal. It's not like that. The NBA can be very physical. There's a lot that goes on in that paint, particularly when you're an undersized individual the way Draymond Green is. Remember, Draymond Green has the body of a big, small forward, dare I say. There are power forwards that are bigger than him. Most, if not all, centers are bigger than him. He's just such an elite defender and has been an elite defender in the times that he's been with the Golden State Warriors, which has materialized into 4 NBA championships and 6 appearances to the finals. I mean, when you look at it from this perspective, I think you got to look at and give respect where it's due. In the end, what it comes down to is that Draymond Green is a future Hall of Famer. We want to act like we don't know that, but it's true. When you're an elite defensive player and you've contributed to 4 championships, you are a Hall of Famer. Don't talk to me about offense, because Dennis Rodman didn't have no damn offense. Dennis Rodman was a rebounding demon, and he was an elite defender and an exceptional athlete. Draymond Green is an elite defender. Is a four-time champion and one of the great point forwards we've ever seen in this game. Him bringing the ball up the basketball court, pushing the pace, and finding the right guys, meaning Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, of course. That's Draymond Green. Again, the 5-game suspension, if it were me, I would have suspended him for 3 games. But you want to give him 5, go ahead and give him 5. Let's just make sure that in recognizing that you gave him 5 games, we don't go overboard with it and try to engage in a level of condemnation that has this guy being treated like he's some damn criminal. That's not him. That's not who he is. How far can LeBron carry the Lakers?